Hey guys, Rob from the Off Grid Tiny House doing another Levo C infusion video. We're warming up here, and I'm also warming up a pot of organic coconut oil. And I usually warm it up and get it liquefied before pouring it in. So this batch of trim has been activated, and so now I'm just gonna prepare putting the liquefied coconut oil into the machine carefully because it's hot. There you go, Blue. So anyways, I'll be right back, Blue. So we're just going to pour this liquid in there. And we're off to the races. You got to do it fairly quickly because when you open the lid, you're going to get some residual of the activation of your trim when it's been decarbed. So obviously, if you look here, I don't have enough coconut oil. We're too low. So obviously, I'm going to have to add some more. All right, so I grabbed another bunch out of the batch. We're going to add that to the processor before we go ahead and turn it on. And you just want to be careful, you know. Do it as smooth as possible without making a mess, getting everything everywhere. Now, I had a big chunk of organic coconut oil fall in that didn't liquefy in time. And you'll see that what happens to that as we turn the machine on and as the agitator starts spinning in there with that chunk and what all that entails. Now, just remember, guys, this is part one of another part of this video that I'm going to put up later on this channel. So you want to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when my videos pop up, and you can stay tuned and get more access. So here we go. We're ready to start. We're going to set our infusion time and temperature. And this one I went a little high end. I think I went 10 hours or something, and at 175 Fahrenheit. You don't have to do that long. It's all whatever you want to do. I just did it overnight, so I set this late at night, and then it's done in the morning, and then I could just process it out in the morning. But yeah, we're off to the races. 10 hours, 175, and you can see the agitator start spinning in there. It's going to slowly work its way on that chunk of organic coconut oil. And I'm just going to add some music here so you guys can chill and watch this melt away and infuse. Stay tuned for the following video, guys, on my channel. Part 2 of this video will be coming out shortly. And it'll have more details on what it's all about and why you should be doing this. guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Welcome back. This will be part 2 of the Levo C processing some trim video. And right here we have the infusion is done. It's early morning here. 10 hours of infusing. And I just lit it overnight because, you know, electricity is cheaper overnight. So I'm just putting it down on a ceramic plate down below because the Levo C container is still nice and toasty hot, so you don't want to burn your floor, burn your rug. We're going to lift the lid. We're going to carefully, I'm just going directly into the organic coconut jar that came from the store, back right in. Now it's infused. We're going to pour that in and go from there. Alrighty guys, so we're back. Had a little mishap where the lid popped off, and you can see the rough trim in there. It's spilled out a little bit of plant material into the container, but not to worry. We're pretty easy going here over at the Off-Grid Tiny House, so you can always straighten that out later. So it went into the jar pretty decent, other than the lid popping off your strainer. Should have pulled that first. I've done it in my other videos like that, so we'll go from there. And yeah, enjoy guys. It's the rest of the process coming through. Alright guys, so we're going to do something special with this batch. We're going to throw some more trim into the Levo C screen deck here, I'm going to call it. And we're going to load that up with a bunch of trim. And then we're going to run, this will be another segment, you'll have to stay tuned for the next part of this video. We're going to rerun the batch you just saw me run. So we're going to take the organic coconut oil that's already infused and we're going to infuse it with this trim, doubling the potency. And it's a nice little trick to do if you want to increase potency. Just reinfuse with more goodness. So stay tuned, enjoy, chillax, and light them if you got them. With trim, we're going to put that lid on, secure it tightly, and then we're going to go ahead and get this Levo C baby started. Alright, let's get on with it, guys. So we're going to throw that in the container, the screen deck there, that is loaded with the goodness, and we're going to get the cap on the container. I think I just put this down for, momentarily. We got to infuse. Well, we can't do the infusion yet because I have to decarb all this trim to make sure it's activated with the THC. So we're going to run that through its process, but always keep your lid on, guys, that's for sure. You have a smelly mess. So you guys want to subscribe, like, hit that bell notification, because there's going to be additional videos to this video here using this method here. And we're just going to fire up the Levo C. We're going to turn activation mode on. Once my finger slides there we go. And then we're just going to hit the play button. It's that simple. No guesswork, no issues. So stay tuned, guys, for more videos in this series. Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Another Levo C video, processing some trim. This is video 3 of 3. And so right here we have the container of infused organic coconut oil and trim that we already ran through the machine once. Now we're going to add it to the Levo C machine again, but this is being introduced to a new batch of trim that's been just decarbed. It's decarboxylation. It's a big term. Just call it decarb for short. Sounds better, easier. Anyways, so now we're going to throw this in. We are going to start the infusion process. And again, I have a big chunk of organic coconut oil in there. So the agitator disc isn't quite centered in the bottom, but I said to hell with it and I'm going to try it anyways. And actually, because it's all to do with magnets, it actually it got back to its spot where it's supposed to be anyway, so no big worries there. So we're infusing this again, and I think I did a shorter period of time. I did like 9 hours or something around there, 10, who knows. Yeah, I shortened the time up a little bit here. And then again at I think 170 or 175 Fahrenheit. And start. Here we go. So you can see it there momentarily spun. So as the big chunk will dissolve, then the little agitator will get via magnetics back into the center where it should be and continue to stir. So you can see it struggling, pushing up against that chunk until it dissolves. Here we go now, a little bit later in the process. Oh, this is actually a lot later because the machine's off. The infusion completed, and now we are ready to pour this stuff out and get the goodness. Now in this batch here, I did it kind of sloppy. I have there's a few particles of plant material in this stuff. Not a big deal. You can either pick them out or whatever later. I could have strained everything once again and threw some cloth, but I was, it was in the morning and I was in a hurry, had to get to work, so, it is what it is, but you can always strain it later. Not a big deal. A little bit of plant material won't kill you for sure. So here's the rest of that process, guys. You can see the trim in there. It was packed full to the brim, and This time I'm kind of being a little bit more careful than the first time where, you know, we had a bunch of crap slip in because the top popped off. But we're just slowly draining it off. And I like to try to push down on some of the material in the container to get any more liquid out of it. But this this comes out pretty dry actually. It dried out really well and most of the liquid remained in the container there, so didn't have to really worry about it whatsoever. So in this case, I use the lid to kind of push down the material into the screen there, and nothing much came out of it. It was pretty dry, so all the medicines in the liquid, and now we're gonna pour it back out into um, the original coconut oil glass mason jar that it came in, and so it'll fit perfectly. Now you just want to be careful with this, guys. Let it sit down and cool for a bit before pouring any hot substance into a glass jar, because if it's too hot and the glass isn't tempered enough, it'll shatter the glass and you'll have one hell of a mess. Broken glass and liquid everywhere. So just let it cool for a little bit. It'll stay liquid for a long time. It takes about 24 hours for it to turn into a solid if it's just at room temperature. So, um, but you can always throw it in the fridge if you want to speed that up. But in this case, we don't want to do that until it's in the container we want it to be in. And then once it's all in there, I'm kind of picking at some of the little specks of plant material that got knocked in there on accident. Again, not a big deal. And then I put the lid on this thing, give it a nice shake, put it aside just for 24 hours, and it'll solidify and good to go. Stuff lasts for like I think 5 years in room temperature in a unsealed or in a sealed container. And if you throw it in the freezer, it's like 10 years, something like that. But you'll use it up before then. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.